Yeah, have a seat, everybody have a seat. Well, I start in a few seconds.
Welcome. Start.
You'll see these haters quickly, swiftly, it's a spiritual thing. Beware of miscues, we're all new to the spiritual thing. I'd like to welcome everybody to the knowledge of the truth. Just digest it a few seconds, you will see what this truth do. Watch your wallet in your pocket, some of these jakes will get your dough jack. Unless you have faith to catch a case, only way you get your dough back. Everybody wearing fringes ain't your nigga, I'm just saying. Yeah, he preaches, yeah, he teaches, but go research what he's saying. You may find he just a nigga, not the nigga chasing money, hungry mother. Ooh, hold up, look. But sometimes you will feel like knocking off a block. Sometimes wanna go get a gun and bust shots. Sometimes oh, you find out choosing Israelite. So you find out choosing Israelite. Ready for the journey. You're chosen, trying to change your life. Find out about the promise on the other side. Yeah. Oh, you found out choosing Israelite. Yeah, yeah.
Invite a couple people in.
Oh, you found out choosing Israelite. I think the moment they love you is when you reppin' they colors. I think they love you, but how could you separate so easy from your brother, your ace, who you allowed in your space? The realest nigga in your circle, hands down, no debate. Look, it's a spirit when one lies and you hear it. And pass it out to be true, cause the speaker, I want everyone to hear this. It's a must you guard your spirit, cause this leaven is a killer, and it only take a little bit either Ak or ops, and ops is a dime a dozen, so is you Ak or not? What you mean by that? Look, my mind goes on sometimes, you will feel like knocking off a block sometimes, wanna go get a gun and bust shots sometimes, oh you find out choosing Israelite. So you find out choosing Israelite. Find out that you're chosen, trying to change your life. Find out about the promise on the other side. Yeah. Oh, you find out choosing Israelite. Yeah, yeah. Knowing they lost their spirit, cause that demon they talking to, they thinking it is the spirit. First it breaks their spirit, after it takes their spirit. Tax you for extra baggage like you flying with spirit. It's the demons that entered the vessel. And if you're special, the most evilest things you can think of, I bet it to let you do it and have no regrets. Reprobate at his best. Love was a pleasure more than God. Coldest what beats in your chest. Hit you with a pacemaker. Hold up. My mind goes out sometimes. You will feel like knocking off a block sometimes. Wanna go get a gun and bust shots sometimes. Oh, you find out choosing Israelite. Yeah.
Welcome to the Hebrew state of being. I am your humble servant and host for tonight. I am Kayel. In the building, I got my youngin', my Bella Song in the building, getting ready for school tomorrow. The wifey's out working. We pray the Most High covers her and her endeavors. Tonight, man, we are coming to you with a reality check, so to speak. We are in these times, and so many of us believe that the Most High is not speaking. We believe that the things that are being told to us on the news is the only answer. We're being told that the information that we're being given from them are the only options that we have. That's not so. But tonight we're going to deal with, in the title of the lesson, Larry, I see you in the building, and I see Coach Kevin in the building, is that the calamities of our time. The calamities of our time. First, I want to give shouts out to Peasy, who we played just now. Israelite is the name of the song off of his song Return of Simba. Please check the brother out, along with Hezekiah, along with so many of these brothers that are doing work in this community with the music. So, as we find out we're awakening, and we find out that we're Yashrulites, we're Israelites, we're We're of the people, of the book, and we're trying to now figure out what is the course. We cannot continue to look at the same source of information for our understanding and how to make it through. We have to stop putting our heads in the sand and acknowledge what is happening around us, and that it is the hand of the Most High. Tonight, we're going to deal with earthquakes and signs in the heavens and the skies. These are the three things that the Most High said would be our signs to let us know that we're in end times. We are seeing these things happen around us all the time, but since they're happening so much, we think it's just par for the course. We are desensitized to the works of the Most High in his hands. I'm going to say it again. We are desensitized to the Most High's hands and what he's doing in this hour. We had some time ago, to prove my point, we had the eclipse that was the olive in the top, making a symbol coming back after 2017. Everyone thought something great was going to happen in that moment. Something, earthquakes or overflowing of rivers. They had this expectation that when this sign in the heavens happened, that everything was going to change at a blink of an eye. I see my brother Horace is in the building, all praises. That is not the case. The Most High's calamities are happening as we speak. Tonight, I'm going to show you a couple of videos to go along with this word that I'm going to speak tonight. Tonight, we're going to start with Zechariah. Like I said, I'm trying to start faster, and I did a 2-hour show on Shabbat, so I want to wrap this a little bit faster than that. So as we go into Zechariah chapter 14, we're going to read verses 1 through 17. Zechariah is getting a vision from the Most High of these end times, right? So as these calamities are happening, from earthquakes to wars and rumors of wars, we just think that it's par for the course, that it's not the Most High's hands. Well, let's read what the Most High has to say. Zechariah chapter 14, verse 1. Lo, a day of the Most High. It says Lord here, so we replace the word Lord with Ishi, which is the Hebrew word for ruler. Since the word Lord only means ruler, Lord does not mean the Most High, but they have changed the wording so that we will be confused. He says, lo, the day of the Ishi is coming, when your spoil shall be divided in your very midst. For lo, it says, for I will gather all the nations to Jerusalem. As we are looking at these words in what they call the East, but the Most High is referred to as the region of Jerusalem. He says, I will gather all the nations to Jerusalem for war. The city shall be captured, the houses plundered, and the women violated. And a part of the city shall go into exile, but the rest of the population shall not be uprooted from the city. Then the Ishi will come forth and make war on those nations as he is wont to make war on a day of battle. So obviously this has not happened. No matter how many times Jerusalem has been under attack throughout these centuries, this, as far as the Most High coming back after the battle and waging war continually on the nations, has not happened yet. So it says, make war on a day, not many, not months, not years, a day of battle. Verse 4, on that day, he will set his feet on the Mount of Olives near Jerusalem on the east, and on the Mount Olives shall split across from east to west, and one part of the mount shall shift to the north and the other to the south, a huge gorge, and the valley in the hills shall be stopped up, for the valley of the hills shall reach only to Azal. It shall be stopped as it was stopped up as a result of the earthquake in the days of King Uzziah of Yehudah. Letting you know how the hand of the Most High works. We have people in this present day of CGI and all of this Project Bluebeam, and they want to see some figure come out. That's all part of the paganism. You want to see a man's hands. The Most High says through his earthquake is how he does things. Through his hurricanes is how he does things. He says, as I did the earthquake in the day of King Uzziah of Yehudah, and the Most High, my creator, with the Ishi, my creator, Shadiah, with all the holy beings will come to you. So not only after this battle happens that the Most High comes, he sets forth an earthquake right afterwards, and then holy beings will come to you. Holy beings are going to come to us. Verse 6, in that day there shall be neither sunlight nor cold moonlight, but there shall be a continuous day. Only the Most High knows when, of neither day nor night. And there shall be light at eventide. In that day, fresh water shall flow from Jerusalem, part of it to the eastern sea, and part to the western sea, throughout the summer and winter. So now on the particular day, the Most High is going to have no sunlight and no moonlight, that it will be a continuous day. And then, as a continuation of that day, it will be fresh water flowing from Jerusalem. And it will go into the western sea from the summer and winter. Verse 9, and the Most High shall be king over all the earth. So, whoa, the Most High is going to be king of all the earth. Well, some of you will say, well, Kayel, you told me David is going to be raised to be the king. He is of Jerusalem. Most High is going to be king of all the earth. He will be king of us. Oh, you thought there weren't going to be any more people? Oh, you thought there was only going to be the 12 tribes? Verse 9, and the Most High shall be king over the earth. In that day there shall be one issue with one name. Verse 10, then the whole country shall become like Arabia, from Geba to Rimmon, south of Jerusalem. The latter, however, shall perch high up where it is, and shall be inhabited from the gate of Benjamin to the site of the old gate, down to the corner gate, and from the tower of Hananel to the king's wine presses. Never again shall destruction be decreed, and Jerusalem shall dwell secure. So obviously that has not happened yet. This prophecy that Zechariah is giving, that he received from the Most High, is of the end times. And as he's speaking of what happens in the end times, he's speaking of war, and he's speaking of earthquakes. And he's saying that all these things will change the tapestry. No, that's not the word I want. The topography of the land. The land is going to change the way it looks. We're going to have certain people that are going to, and the area is going to be like whole landscapes are changing. And it says, but there will be no more fighting, no more destruction, no more decrees. That is all is done. But obviously, even though there's going to be a day, there is a process that's being done to change the fresh water in Jerusalem, to changing the rock that's split and the place becoming like Arabia from the gates of Benjamin. So this is all a process. So when I bring up the Aleph and the Tav that happened and all of the things that have been happening since then, namely just recently the Japanese 7.1 or 2 earthquake, where they're professing within the next 5 to 10 years that there's going to be at least an 8 or a 9. Their flesh shall rot away. Excuse me, it says, verse 11. Never again shall destruction be decreed, and Jerusalem shall dwell secure. Verse 12. As for those peoples that warred against Jerusalem, the Most High will smite them with this plague. Their flesh shall not or shall rot away while they stand on their feet. Their eyes shall rot away in their sockets, and their tongues shall rot away in their mouths. In that day, a great panic from the Most High shall fall upon them, and everyone shall snatch at the hand of another, and everyone shall raise his hand against everyone else's hand. So obviously, this is not after the Most High comes. Obviously, this is not after that day where it's going to be no sun nor moon, but a continuous day. This is going to be things leading up to that day. So now he's speaking of in that day. He's not speaking that specific day. He's speaking of the time that we are in, a calamities, where he's going to bring everyone to Jerusalem, where everyone is ready for battle. And it says, verse 13, verse 14, Yehuda shall join the fighting in Jerusalem. Wealth of all the nations round about, vast quantities of gold, silver, and clothing shall be gathered in. It's speaking of Yehuda now, because Yehuda is going to fight, and it's saying that great wealth is going to come in. Verse 15, the same plague shall strike the horses, the mules, the camels, the asses. The plague shall affect all the animals in those camps. All who survive of all those nations that come up against Jerusalem shall make a pilgrimage year by year to bow low to the king of the host, and to observe the feast of booths. So this is going to be an ordained, which we already have in our 12 tribes as our feast of booths, but this is going to be something that now the rest of the nations will join. It says the King, Lord of hosts, which we know is the King, the Most High of the army, and they're going to the ruler, the issue of the army, and they will and to observe the feast of booths. Verse 17. Any of the earth's communities that does not make the pilgrimage to Jerusalem to bow low to the King, Most High of the army, shall receive no rain. Again, how is the Most High showing his hand to what the pagans want to call Mother Nature? See, they had to give you Mother Nature to separate you from your Creator and his hand and his prophecies. So now you're looking upon some fictitious Mother Nature that doesn't exist. Nature is the hand of the Most High. Nature is the hand of the Most High. And for us, he's bringing that hand forth in war, in pestilence, earthquakes, and hailstones. Let's get to Isaiah 66 as we talk about this war. Isaiah 66, verse 17. Verse 17. Those who sanctify and purify into the groves, imitating one in the center, eating the flesh of the swine. I see B in the building. I told y'all the Most High, the biggest abomination he has is pork. Most High does not want us to eat it. He uses it every time to speak about our abomination. So he says that those who sanctify and purify themselves to enter groves, imitating one in the center, eating the flesh of the swine, the reptile, and the mouse, shall one and all come to an end. All in one that does this shall come to end, declares the Most High, for their deeds and purpose. For their deeds and purposes. When we look at what's going to happen in the Middle East, and we look at the wars and everything that's going to happen to America in the next 3 to 4 months, we must understand that this is the type of foods and the type of things that they have been giving us. You at one of my favorite hot dog spots, they got an alligator hot dog. We in Louisiana, they have alligator. That's reptile, if you don't know. A time has come to gather all the nations and tongues. They shall come and behold my glory. I will set a sign among them and send from them survivors to the nations, to Tarshish, Paul, and Luke, to draw the bow to Tabal, Javan, and the distant coast. If you don't know that Tarshish and Tubal and Javan specifically is Europe. Tubal and Javan is Europe. That's the children of Gomer, the children of Japhet. And the Most High is saying that he's going to set a sign among them and send from them survivors of the nations to Tarshish, Paul, and Luke, that draw the bow, saying they're going to bring war, to Tabal and to Javan and the distant coast, that have never heard my fame nor behold my glory. Most High speaking of people that do not have reverence for him, does not care anything about Exodus and what he did for us and how he laid his hand out for us. None of that. No. It says, they shall declare my glory among the nations. And out of all the nations, says the Most High, they shall bring all your brothers on horses, in chariots, and drakes, on mules and in dromedaries, to Jerusalem, my holy mountain, and an offering to the Most High, just as the Israelites bring an offering in a pure vessel to the house of the Most High. So the Most High is saying that these people, that the Most High is going to, after he does all these stricken them with earthquakes and pestilence and wars, that after they go down and killing themselves, after all these things happen, that the Most High is going to have these same people, the Gentiles, bringing us back to Jerusalem with donkeys, with horses, with dromedaries, with mules. Wow. Why didn't they don't preach this? Why would they do that for the people that are winning in America? You know who's winning in America. You know who's been our presidents. So why isn't it that they can read Isaiah? They don't read this Isaiah because they are not the downtrodden. They are the most powerful nation in the world right now. So how can these prophecies that the Most High says at the end, he's dealing with the people at the bottom. He's going to have us fight. He's going to have all these nations kill each other. We will participate in Jerusalem, but these people, after they lose, they are going to come and get all of us from these scattered places and bring us to Jerusalem. It says right here, verse 19, I will set a sign among them and send from them survivors to the nations, to Tarshish, Paul, and Lud, that draw the bow to the Baal and Javan, and the distant coasts, that have never heard my fame nor beheld my glory. So in verse 19, in that sentence, he's saying that he's going to take the survivors of the nations that he's destroyed, that he's taken the yoke off of our neck, and he's going to use them to go at Javan and at Tubal and the distant coast that have never heard his fame or his glory. They shall declare my glory among those nations. So he's going to use the one that he's going to break down to go tell the other nations, get your mind right. And those nations that have us in captivity, verse 20 says, and out of all the nations, says the Most High, they shall bring all your brothers on horses, in chariots, and drays, on mules, and dromedaries to Jerusalem, my holy mountain, as an offering to the Most High. War and all that y'all are seeing is being done for us. These are the Most High signs that he says he would do in the end time. I see David's in the building. This is what's happening, but we are thinking it's geopolitics. We are concerned about things that, and adding things to it that have nothing to do with it, when the truth of the matter is, this is what the Most High is doing for us. It says he's gonna make it to where they're gonna bring us to Jerusalem. It says, just as the Israelites, the Yasharites, bring an offering in a pure vessel to the house of the Most High, and from them likewise I will take some to be Levitical priests, says the Most High. So the ones that are gonna come out of these nations after he breaks them all down, fight other nations that does not hear and does not care about his fame and his glory of what he's done for us. Then those nations are going to take all of their people that they have in captivity in their nations, us, and bring us to Jerusalem. And we are going to come with pure, and that's going to be their offering to the Most High, is us. It's bringing us back to our homeland. It's going to be their offering unto the Most High. And when we get there, we're going to give a pure offering unto the Most High. And out of us that come back, he's going to select Levitical priest out of it to go with Zadok. He's going to choose Levitical priest out of the ones that are brought back to Jerusalem. Verse 22, that says the Most High. For as the new heaven and the new earth, which I will make, shall endure by my will, says the Most High, so shall your seed and your name endure. The new moon after new moon, and Sabbath after Sabbath, all flesh shall come to worship me, says the Most High. And it says, last 24, they shall go out and gaze on the corpses of the men who rebelled against me. So after the Most High does all that, we are going to see the corpses lying in the streets. We're going to see that this is the work and the handwork of his hand. Let's go to Isaiah 13. Then I got a short video for you guys. Isaiah 13 to give a precept to what is coming and that it is for us. Isaiah 13, verse 4 through 12. And it reads, hark, a tumult on the mountains, as of a mighty force. Hark, an uproar of kingdoms. That's what this is about. Nations assembling. The Most High of hosts is mustering a host of war. So when these people are coming together in the video I'm about to show you, when it's showing you all these people through the news, telling you how they're gathering together for war, this is exactly what the Most High said he's doing in this hour for us. Hark, an uproar of kingdoms, nations assembling. The Most High of hosts is mustering a host of war. They come from a distant land, from the end of the sky. Russia, if you don't know, is basically the end of the sky, baby. It's the north. Everything falls off there, right? The Most High with the weapons of his wrath to ravage all the earth. How? For the day of the Most High is near. It shall come like havoc from Shadiah. And I wonder why I use the word Shadiah to call upon the Most High. That's the name they use in reference to his prophecies coming. I'm concerned about these prophecies. I don't know about you. You call them on Shadiah. So it says in Isaiah chapter 13, verse 6, havoc from Shadiah. Verse 7, therefore all hands shall grow limp, all men's hearts shall sink, and overcome by terror, they shall be seized. They shall be seized. So let's go to this video. I want to precept this here. And this is Jason A. I'm going to say fair use. Fair use. This is for educational purposes only. It's for educational purposes only. Fair use. Fair use. But this is going to speak. Let me get it right. This is going to speak to the scripture that we just read. We got it. Full screen. And let's go. Fair use, fair use. This is Jason A's channel. Check him out, Jason A. This is for educational purposes.
Emergency meeting at the UN today. The Middle East on the brink of a bigger war. Jared Crowley's following it all. Sharon, the whole world is watching at this point.
Iran's foreign ministry has called on European countries to, quote, stand against the war in Gaza. The statement comes after Iran dismissed calls from France, Germany, and the UK to exercise restraint amid warning attack on Israel.
U.S. officials tell Fox Iran and its proxy groups could launch a coordinated assault within the next few days. And there are reports Iran is positioning missiles and drones right now, prompting the U.S. to beef up its military presence in the region. And of course, these increasing tensions coming as Israel's war with Hamas in Gaza continues. Diplomats are still pushing for a ceasefire so the remaining hostages can be released. And talks are expected to resume on Thursday.
Yesterday, we also spoke to former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Olmert. He told us that Israel would launch a counterattack against Iran if they did strike, and that Israel, his words, would prevail.
You know, I'm wondering, everyone wonders now how Iran will respond, but what if it leaves it to its proxies to respond? Through Hezbollah or Hamas or the Houthi rebels, that's constant, the Houthi thing. So I'm just wondering if they leave it at that, It seems unlikely, but they could say our response.
Well, look, I think the best of all outcomes would be a very muted response from Iran, either directly or through its many surrogates in the region, all of whom are really terror-affiliated as surrogates. My concern, Neil, is that if this thing gets out of hand, Russia's right behind Iran. China's not far behind Russia and Iran. Nobody thought certain other conflicts were going to escalate. They all think that they're going to end happily or quickly, and they never end happily and quickly. And so
so that's Jason A's video in reference to all of the Middle East conflict that we are having, right? As Isaiah said, and as the Most High said, he would bring these people ready for war. But we watch these news channels and these things, and we do not attribute any of that to his prophecy. We just said that he's going to bring all nations together. Iran is already connected to China. China has just announced that they support Iran when nobody asked them. I want you to understand how powerful that is. Iran said, look, we in the fight, even though China said, look, we in this, even though nobody asked us. That's right. We got Iran back. So whatever Iran do. Now, when you heard the reports on the news, everyone's hoping that Iran doesn't make any kind of real response. But how could they not when China just comes out and says in the midst of everybody waiting for their response that, oh, we stand by Iran and whatever they do. So now you got China, you got Iran. So we know Israel is connected to all of the European countries, right? So we know that America, Israel, all of that is the American bloc. So we talk about the whole world coming to fight. They spoke about the Hittites and the Houthis, and not the Hittites, the Houthis and the Yemen, and they spoke about the Hezbollah and all these that are surrounding. But also Turkey has come in and said that they're against Israel and all that they're doing. So you have this slither of Israel that is, everyone is hating for what they're doing, and they are bringing in all the world to a fight, as the Most High said he would bring all the nations to Jerusalem. Are we supposed to ignore that, David? Are we supposed to ignore that, Mike? That this is happening right now? We're supposed to say, no, this scripture that is being written, it's not saying that at all. That's over and done with. This. We y'all tripping. I mean, are we really just supposed to say that there is no creator? Because that's what they want. If for you not to connect this, and for these nations that say that they are a Christian nation, for these nations that have the Quran, that have Isaiah as part of their Quran, how do these nations not see that this is biblically happening? Some of them do. Some of them know exactly what's going on. Some of them are playing their part precisely. Let's go to a precept of that Isaiah. Let me read that back up. Let me give a precept of Isaiah 13, 4 through 12 that we just read. Let's go to Jeremiah 30. Now note that it said here, as we got off on verse 8, that Isaiah 13, and overcome by terror, they shall be seized by pangs and throes, wrought like women in travail. Very important, because the Most High said it's supposed to be precept upon things. Is there a precept for men acting like they're in a woman's travail, giving birth? Jeremiah chapter 30 is just that. Jeremiah 30, verse 5. Jeremiah 30, verse 5, and it reads, thus says the Most High, thus says Shadiah. We have heard cries of panic, terror without relief. Ask and see. Surely males do not bear young. Why then do I see man with his hands on his loins like a woman in labor? Why have all faces turned pale? That's exactly what it just said in Isaiah. Ah, the day is awesome. There is none like it. It is a time of trouble for Yaakov, for Jacob. I see Brother Yohan's in the building, Roses in the building. But he shall be delivered from it in that day, declares the Most High of the army. I will break the yoke from off your neck, and I will rip off your bonds. Strangers shall no longer make slaves of them. Instead, they shall serve the Most High, their Creator, and Daniel, the King, and David, the King whom I will raise up for them. So I just said, Most High said he's the king over all nations. David is the king over us. As it says in Isaiah 13, that when all these calamities of this war, these earthquakes, this pestilence, and these signs in the sky happens, that everyone's going to be petrified with their hands on their loins. This is now being prescribed to Jacob's trouble, the time of Jacob's trouble, which is where we are. I just showed you Jason A's video on war. I just expressed how the Most High is bringing the nations together. I just expressed that the nations, they go through this tumultuous war, that they're going to fight against each other, and that the Most High is going to have them then bring us back to Jerusalem as their sacrifice unto the Most High. Zechariah chapter 14, verses 15 through 17. So now let's get to this earth, this concept of Mother Nature. Let's go to Ezekiel 38. Ezekiel 38, verse 17. Thus says the Most High, why you are the one I spoke of in ancient days through my servants, the prophets of Yasharallah, who prophesied for years in those days that I will bring you against them. On that day, when God set foot on the soil of Yasharallah, declares the Most High Creator. So the Most High is saying that when God, and all the wars that he's bringing, that when God, which we know is Russia, sets foot on the ground in Jerusalem, that he says, on that day when God sets foot on the soil of Yasharallah, declares the Most High, my raging anger shall flare up. Verse 19, for I have decreed in my indignation and in my blazing wrath, on that day a terrible earthquake shall befall the land of Yasharallah. So this is a prophecy that we can look forward to, that's clearly laid out, right? That when Russia comes and enters into Jerusalem, when the fight really gets on and Israel and Russia has finally gotten it going, because right now they're telling you that it is Israel and Iran. But Iran gets their weapons and trades drones with Russia, Gog, which the Iranians are descendants of. China has backed Iran. So when we're speaking about God hitting Jerusalem, well, when these forces after they finish playing with each other through these little proxy attacks and setting it up, because they're all trying to act like they ain't the enforcer, they're not the antagonizer. They want history to speak of them well. Really ain't gonna matter. So when these nations and these proxy little fights go away and everybody just now gets down to the brass tack and all sides are laid down, you're going to find that even though they want to say it's Iran, it's going to be God, the land and the descendants that have scattered. He says on that day, he's going to bring an earthquake on that day that's going to strike the entire land. So we get to clock that. We get to sit back with the popcorn and watch that, because we ain't got nothing to do with that. That has nothing to do with our hands. We have to be righteous and following the law, statutes, and commandments. That's our game. That's, you want to figure out which one you're going to stick in your console? The game of righteousness. The game of mind your own business. The game of this is between them folks. We got law, statutes, and commandments to be versed on, so that when the Most High has these other nations fall and they recognize who we are, that we are speaking his word, so the Most High don't damn us with them. Because some of them are going to survive. Some of them are going to live. Are you going to live? Are you going to play your part? Or do you know your part? Do you know the law, statutes, and commandments? If you don't know these prophecies, that's okay. You can't put the time frame together, the news clip, you can't see the what they call that, the civic downfall. You can't place how this system is falling according to the Most High's prophecies. All good. Just be about the game of being righteous in your movement, your acts, your thoughts, and the people around you. As the Most High said in Isaiah, people are going to be snatching each other. Friends, homies, snatching them by hands. To rob you, steal you, bring you into their demise. Misery loves company. Are you going to be able to decipher when your friends come with the absolute outstanding escape route? When they tell you they got everything all together, are you going to be able to decipher their plan according to the Most High and say, oh, no, that ain't how he told me to walk. That ain't the path that I'm supposed to be in. That sounds a lot like the destruction of the other people. Are you going to know? Or are you going to let your fear overtake you? Well, that's why in this calm, you're supposed to be learning this law, statutes, and commandments and not being involved in all of that rhetoric they got out there in these nations. Because it's prophesied what's going to happen to them. There ain't no getting around this. The Most High's word does not come back void. So as we're reading in Ezekiel chapter 38, 38, and the Most High is saying in verse, we start at 17, we're now in verse 20, and it says, the fish of the sea, the birds of the sky, the beasts of the field, all creeping things that move on the ground, and every human being on earth shall quake before me. So we're not just talking about a 9.0 that Japan is talking about happening in the next 10 years. We're talking about an earthquake that's going to hit Jerusalem, that then it's going to make the entire world shake, scared, to recognize the power of the Most High. We act as though these things aren't revving up. We're acting as though the Most High is not giving us sign upon sign with the weather that this is happening. You got some of the signs in the sky with the olive and the top. You're getting so many other things that are happening. They call them UFOs. You've seen a whole lot of activity in the heavens and beneath in the water. He says, verse 21, I will then summon a sword against him throughout my mountains, declares the Most High, and every man's sword shall be turned against his brother. I will punish him with pestilence and with bloodshed, and I will pour torrential rains, hailstones, and sulfurous fire upon him and his hordes and the many peoples with him. This is talking about Gog. Once Gog hit Jerusalem, earthquake's gonna hit that's gonna shake everybody. Then the Most High is gonna send all of these hailstones and sulfurous fire and pestilence at them. Verse 20. Thus, fire upon him and his peoples with him. Verse 23. Thus will I manifest my greatness and my holiness and make myself known in the sight of many nations. And they shall know that I am the issue, the ruler. Let's go to Joel, man. This is what we are to expect. These are the prophecies that's put forth. These are the things that we are ignoring and believe that this is all part of just climate change. No, my boy. This is a little bit more than climate change, my boy. Nah, my G. Where's my Joel? That's right. Joel should be right. So we're going to Joel chapter 2. We're still talking about earthquakes and pestilence with the Most High and what he's doing in this hour, the calamities that he's bringing in this time. So Joel chapter 2, verse 1 through 3. And it says, blow the horn in Zion, sound an alarm on my holy mount. Let all dwellers on earth tremble, for the day of the Most High has come. It is close. So isn't that interesting? It says it has come, and then it says it is close. So it's about to line up the things that's letting you know it's coming close. In this hour, are you recognizing that this is the Most High's movement right now? In this hour, are you recognizing that the Most High's hand is happening across this world? We are getting shifted and moved because of his hand that's happening across this world. This is the time now. Don't wait for bloodshed. Don't wait for sulfurous fire. Don't be caught on that side. You don't know when it's the time for that region that the Most High is bringing this. It's all happening in parts and pieces. And it's all part of one big plan. I want you to know your part. I want you to be clear on what to do right now. The Most High says, blow the horn in Zion, sound an alarm on my holy mount. Let all dwellers on earth tremble, for the day of the Most High has come. It is close. Verse 2, a day of darkness and gloom, a day of dense cloud, dense, I guess, dark clouds, spread like soot over the hills, a vast, enormous horde. Nothing shall never happen again through the years and ages. Their vineyards is a consuming fire, their rear guard a devouring flame. Before them, the land was like the Garden of Eden. So who is the Most High talking about? Who has been the leeches? Who has destroyed Edom? I mean, we know about God, right? We know Esau went up to Europe and made it with Gog. We know they are all in together now. Most High says these people are locusts. Before them is the Garden of Eden. Behind them is nothing but destruction, flames, consuming fire. We're going to dip down from there and go to verse 10 in the same Joel chapter 2. Verse 10 reads, before them earth trembles, heaven shakes, sun and moon are darkened, and stars withdraw their brightness, and the Most High roars aloud at the head of his army. He's the host. He's Shaddai, baby. For vast indeed is his host, numberless are those that do his bidding. For great is the day of the Most High, most terrible. Who can endure it? This is what is coming amongst us in droves. Jacob's trouble is where we are. We are in the midst of this. Men in our time is going to travail like women when they see all these things happen. We are going to see this in our time. There was many when I was young, I would never thought to say such a thing, that I would see such horrible prophecies come to fruition. Let's go to Isaiah 34. So I'm trying to get through this, guys. I held y'all for a long time. I'm already at the hour mark. I want to get you guys, I want to get this word clear, not too much flim-flam, straight to the point, right? Because in this hour, we have to be on point. Isaiah chapter 34, 1 through 6. Approach, O nations, and listen, give heed, O peoples. O people. Let the earth and those in it hear. The world and what it brings forth. Verse 2, Isaiah chapter 34. For the Most High is angry at all nations. I don't care what belief system you have. The Most High has an anger at all nations, furious at all their hosts, their armies, their fallen angels. He has doomed them, co-signed them to slaughter. Their slain shall be left lying, and the stench of their corpses shall mount, and the hills shall be drenched with their blood. All the host of heaven shall mold. The heavens shall be rolled up like a scroll, and all their hosts shall wither like a leaf withering on the vine, or shriveled fruit on a fig tree. Verse 5. For my sword shall be drunk in the sky, lo, it shall come down upon Edom. To come upon this Roman Catholic Empire that has given our people an idol and have put a sword behind that to indoctrinate them, and have committed such atrocities to have us as brothers fighting over, is a human that came here. Is he the creator? Could he ever be? The only way it could be is if he was a deity, a pagan god, like the Greeks and the Romans and the Persians and the Babylonians and the Medes and the Sumerians, the Egyptians. He says, lo, it shall come down upon Edom, upon the people I have doomed, to wreak judgment. The sword has, the Most High has a sword. It is sated with blood. It is gorged with fat, the blood of lambs and he-goats, the kidney fat of rams. For the Most High holds a sacrifice in Bozrah, a great slaughter in the land of Edom. These things come through these hailstones, through these earthquakes, through these wars. We're going to check out our second video for tonight. Again, Jason A. Jason A. But this is his latest one that he calls it something. This is weird.
You might be wondering.
All the weather phenomenon that's happening across the world. So we're gonna check this out as a precept to what we just read, with how the Most High is going to use the weather and what they call Mother Nature, right?
You might be wondering, have we been having more of them than normal? Well, we did get the answer for you tonight, and it is yes. We are having the most seismically active year in almost 4 decades, and experts say the shaking is likely to continue.
Another earthquake hit Southern California, this time near Lake Elsinore. It happened this morning around 9:30. The magnitude 3.9 earthquake rocked homes, but so far no damage has been reported. This is the third sizable earthquake in Southern California in just a couple of days.
Southern California has experienced multiple earthquakes this week, as I'm sure all of you know, and this is a good reminder. Now is the time to prepare for
through the Northridge earthquake. So, the first thing I said is, I think the big one is coming, guys.
Juicy, the owner of Luca Natural Highland, of smaller quakes leading up to a very destructive one.
I know that this is the signs that a bigger earthquake is probably going to come. I mean, I hope I'm wrong.
Fair use. Fair use. Not much.
Every one of us.
Right. Right. Yellowstone.
In charge of the Yellowstone Volcano Observatory said this is the
All right. So, as we were saying, this scenario of earthquakes happening, of this disaster happening, the attitude that lady had there was, "This is hurricane. Earthquake. This is what we do. You live on top of folk. It is what it is. I'm here in New Orleans, and we in Hurricane Alley. So one would say, you're no different than the earthquake. Not so much. We get warning with hurricanes. You get no warning with the earthquakes, other than a smaller one coming, and then within hours or days, another major one coming. You can never know exactly which one. So they want you to, just say, hey, man, I'm not worried about it. Which then takes you away from looking at it from the Most High's perspective that he's warning you. So now again, we let man again, over and over again, tell us that there's nothing to see here. There's nothing about the Most High here. This is just Mother Nature. This is just the people warring about genocide. This is just people warring about oil. This is just people fighting about regions. No. None of it is the scripture of the prophecies that the Most High has brought forth. That's the lie of the world. That's the lie of the world. Like I said, I'm trying to get out of here fast with you guys. Let me give you my last 3 scripts for the night. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 24. Isaiah 24, verse 21. And it says, in that day, the Most High will punish the host of heaven in heaven, and the kings of the earth on earth. They shall be gathered in a dungeon as captives are gathered. I was like, this doesn't make much sense. So then I had to go back up and read to understand what the Most High was saying. So we're going to start at verse 17. And it says, the end of 16. We'll start at 16. From the end of the earth, we hear singing, glory to the righteous. And I said, I waste away, woe is me. The faithless have acted faithlessly. The faithless have broken faith, terror and pit and trap upon you who dwell on earth. Okay, so we're starting to get a better perspective of what this means by the host of heaven, the kings on the earth. Wait, verse 18, who flees at the report of the terror? Who flees? So the faithless, the ones that run when they hear the truth of the Most High. And it says, they shall fall into the pit, and he who climbs out of the pit shall be caught in a trap, for sluices are open on high, and earth's foundations are trembling. So this is all during an earthquake. People are going to be falling into the pit. The faithless, the ones that's not hearing. gonna fall into the trap. The earth's foundations tremble. Verse 19, the earth is breaking, breaking. The earth is crumbling, crumbling. The earth is tottering, tottering. The earth is swaying like a drunkard. It is rocking to and fro like a hut. Its iniquity shall weigh it down, and it shall fall to rise no more. In that day, the Most High will punish the host in heaven. The host in heaven. Are we talking about the army, the ones that fell, the watchmen that fell, Lucifer and the 200 that fell? Will it be in the skies, in this, which we call the sky, the heavens in our language? He says, and the kings on the earth, and it said, and the kings of the earth on earth, they shall be gathered in a dungeon as captives are gathered. So when the Most High gave the prophecy of wrapping up, as he chasing the building, of wrapping up all of the fallen angels at the end, this is the vision. This is what Isaiah is speaking of. And that the people that are faithless, that wasn't rocking, are falling into the earth as it is trembling, as it is earthquaking, as he's bringing all these pestilence. His hands, the weather is his. He says, I will gather the fallen angels as well as the kings that were following these fallen angels that were in the heavens, the ones they were praying to. They're gods. Russia has a female, has a god. Ukraine has a god that's over their nations. They got these giant statues, and most nations outside of America, such as Brazil, have a giant statue of their patron saint, the protector of their nation. This is the host that the Most High is talking about in heaven that he's going to beat down. And then the kings that follow him, he's going to beat them down on the earth. Then he's going to put them all together in the captivity. Oh. Man, when I first read that, I was like, the Most High is going to beat the host in heaven. What is he saying? That's why we have to read things over and over again with the Most High, and we have to let him explain it to us, because the way they retransliterate it and try to cover and hide things, you can be very confused. You have to read this over and over again and meditate upon this. He says, they shall be gathered in a dungeon as captives are gathered, and shall be locked up in a prison, but after many days shall be remembered. Then the moon shall be ashamed, and the sun shall be abashed, for the Most High of hosts will reign. So remember, we read that the Most High said there will be a continuous day when he comes, right? There will be no sun, there will be no moon. There'll be one continuous day. So again, this Isaiah is another recount of everything that we've been reading according to how the Most High is going to do this. This has been repeated in the scriptures by the prophets over and over again. As he said about God, he said, all of my ancient of days prophets spoke about this day that I will end things when God steps foot in Jerusalem. So now he's saying that all those fallen angels and all of those kings that's going to be wrapped up in prison, they are going to be set on the side while the Most High is cleansing the earth with all of these earthquakes and all these different things and pestilence and killing the wicked. And as he said, having these wars, and then them people bringing us back to Jerusalem as they're sacrificing to the Most High, bowing down into the Most High. Oh, you might be right, cuz we got the Statue of Liberty. You right. Thank you for correcting me, cuz we got the Statue of Liberty. God, dog. See, that's how slick they is with it. I read this and understand this, but I just never considered the Statue of Liberty anything but a present. But you know, cuz you're absolutely right. That is what France, the Gothic, the evil ones, right? The ones that really reporting this white supremacy when they're in their French Revolution. Yeah, the evil ones. They gave us the gift of our patron saint and liberty. That's supposed to be the God of this nation. But I thought they had Jesus. Why there ain't no picture, why there ain't no statue of the giant Jesus like in Brazil? Thank you, cuz, for that one. Let's to go. Wait, did I finish that? Hold on. Excuse me. Verse 23. The moon shall be ashamed, and the sun shall be abashed. For the Most High of the army will reign on Mount Zion in Jerusalem. Remember, it said earlier he's going to be on the west gate by Benjamin. He's going to put his foot there and it's going to split it to east to west. Precept upon precept. And his presence will be revealed to his elders. What the Most High say that when they started bringing us back, that he was going to pick Levite priests out of the ones that are brought back to Jerusalem. Then again, he comes back here and said his presence will be revealed in his elders. Yeah. That's what we're looking forward to. That's what we're looking forward to. Let's go to Joel. Only got 2 more and we out of here. Joel chapter 3, verses 3 through 5. And it says, before that great and terrible day of the Most High comes, I will set portents in the sky and on the earth. We read this when the eclipse was happening and the Aleph and the Tav was being written in the sky. Here again, as we watched the Jason A2 videos, going from the war to the earthquakes and the pestilence and all that's happening in the earth. Here the Most High saying, I'm putting these signs in the sky. Blood and fire and pillars of smoke. Oh, yes. It's going to go down. The sun shall turn into darkness and the moon into blood. But everyone who invokes the name of Shaddai shall escape. For there shall be a remnant on Mount Zion. Remember when we read it in Zechariah, they used the name Shaddai. See that he's going to put his foot on Mount Zion. On Mount Olive, excuse me, right? And now he's saying this is on Mount Zion and in Jerusalem. So in Jerusalem, it's going to be on Mount Olive and then also on the Mount Zion. As the Most High promised, anyone who invokes the Most High's name will be among the survivors. Shaddai. Ahaya. I was just watching Brother Lex another day, and he's going into the Strong Concordance, which, I appreciate greatly. And he just proved that the A was not on the higher, that is just higher. And but either way, however you want to pronounce it, you call upon when you're reading his word. When you found his law, statutes, and commandments, he knows who you call him. But it's on you to get to the core of him. Shaddai, higher. All praise to the Most High. I am the destroyer and creator of all things. Let's go to our last verse to clarify all that we said and for Daniel to put the seal on this. If you have not understood anything, please understand this Daniel chapter 12, verse 5 through 13. Daniel chapter 12. Last words of Daniel. Verse 5, it reads, Then I, Daniel, looked and saw 2 others standing, one on one bank of the river, the other on the other bank of the river. One said to the other man, clothed in linen, who was above the water of the river, how long until the end of these awful things? That's what everybody really want to know, right? When is all this going to end, man? In my lifetime? How is this going to play out? And it says, verse 7, Then I heard the man dressed in linen, who was above the water of the river, swear by the ever-living one, the Most High, right? Shaddai, as he lifted his right hand and his left hand to heaven for a time, times and half a times, and when the breaking of the power of the holy people comes to an end. So all of this has been breaking the power of the holy people, taking us from our understanding of the scripture, understanding how the sun and the moon, taking us away from the earth, got rubber on our shoes. We're not walking and touching the earth. Got us separated from being one with the earth. Understanding the festivals that the Most High has set forth for us, how that connects to our harvest season, how to give praise for Him putting His work in for us. We don't look for the harvest and pray to the Most High for our plants to grow. We look and pray that they're gonna have cheaper food. We look into the news and to the government to hopefully we got cheaper food this week or gas prices will go down. This has been a breaking of the holy people of the Most High. And it says, breaking the power of the holy people comes to an end. Then shall all these things be fulfilled. I heard and did not understand. So I said, issue, what will be the outcome of these things? He said, go secret and sealed to the time of the end. So you may debate over time. I see Native Niji in the building. You may debate over what a time and a time and a time and a half means. You may want to call it 7 years. You want to call it 3.5 years. Whatever you want to call it. Jacob's trouble is prophesied to be in 7 years. Whatever you want to call it, the Most High says that this will be the notation of the end time. Verse 10, many will be purified and purged and refined. That's what we're doing here on Hebrew State of Being. Our goal is to purge, purify, and refine. Get closer to His word. Seek the true definitions. Understand history. Correlate the history with this. Know what the Most High said, because He is more than just in this book that have been transliterated, where they have taken His name out, where they have forged His name and called Him Yahweh and Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh and Jesus and all these other acronyms that they've given to Shaddai, to Higher, giving Him Lord and Baal and confusing Him. No. Most High says, I'm going to purge, purify, and refine. And that's our goal through the law, statutes, and commandments. The wicked will act wickedly, and none of the wicked will understand. None of the wicked are going to understand. So we can't expect man to do anything. As I stated when it opened, I am not going to have any faith that all nations are going to come together and do as Nineveh, put on sackcloth and throw dirt upon their face and call upon Shaddai Yahweh and say, forgive us. I have no faith in that. It says here, wicked is going to do as wicked does. There's not going to be a change to that. Wicked, and none of the wicked will understand, but the knowledgeable will understand. From the time the regular offering is abolished, which meant the temple went down, and the appalling abomination is set up, a third temple, which the Most High has not ordained. His third temple He's bringing. So He says, when that happens, it will be 1,290 days from the last time it was done properly. Happy the one who waits and reaches 1,335 days, which is why they decided to change the times, so that we wouldn't be able to note the time or count the time. And that's why they gave us a new book and said that all sins are done away with through the blood. Here, the Most High is saying nothing about the sins are done away with. The Most High, we need to be purged, refined, and purified. No such thing as the blood has done that. And the Most High said this is at the end time. So if somebody came before the end time and died for your sins, then that would not be in correlation with what the Most High has said to Daniel. Then that would mean that the Most High is a liar. Verse 12, Daniel chapter 12. It's 144. Happy the one who waits and reaches 1,335 days. But you go on to the end. You shall rest and arise. So not only David will arise, but Daniel will arise. Not only Daniel, but the saints shall arise. And what is going to arise to? To your destiny at the end of days. What is the end of days? When there's no sun, no moon. When the Most High makes it one day. And all of his wrath and fury has gone forth. We in this hour must understand that his calamities are happening right now. That the Most High's hands are moving right now. The calamities are here. Do not think this is just par for the course. Do not think this is just as the world turns. It is not. Get yourself in order and in line with the Most High. Have no middleman. Have only the Ruach HaKodesh, the breath between you and the Most High. All praises. I will see you guys on Wednesday night. We are starting the packing. We're taking here away, and we are getting ready to go where the Most High is moving us. All praises. And he may be moving you. Don't trip. Do what you got to do. Endure, Zion. Endure. You shalom.